Hello. Do you have a favorite pair of jeans? I have jeans that I love to wear. And every once in a while they'll get a hole. It's so annoying. Look at this. Something catches, or just from wear, or from putting your phone right there, you've got these holes. Okay? But these jeans are not garbage. We're going to fix them. So there are two different ways that I'm going to show you how to fix these pockets. This one I can stick my finger through is going to need a lot more work than this one, which is just a little. And by the way, Grandma will always say, a stitch in time saves 9. If you get this before it looks like this, it's going to be a lot easier to fix. This one, I'm going to show you how to fix this one if you don't have a sewing machine. This one we're going to fix with a sewing machine. In order to fix this little hole right here, we're going to have to put a piece of fabric on the back of that. And the best piece of fabric to use is a piece of denim. We're going to attach that denim with something called Stitch Witchery, which should be available at any like Michael's, Hobby Lobby. That's a very popular thing to use. This is like glue. When you heat it, it will like glue two pieces of fabric together. And I'll show you how to use it in a minute. Let's decide on what denim to use with our hole. This denim is a stretchy denim. We're not going to use it, okay? This denim is nice and thick, but it's black, and we're not going to use that. This is perfect because we're matching a color, and so if it's seen a little bit, it'll be good. The key to getting a piece of denim on a hole, you want to cut it sideways so it doesn't fray. You can see how all the threads are coming out. I don't want the threads to come out, and I don't want to stitch around the sides, so I'm going to cut it on the bias. You don't have to have pinking shears if you're cutting it on the bias. I am just using pinking shears because it's also will stop it from fraying. This will never fray. Maybe a tiny bit like that, all the threads won't come out. So this is going to be a perfect patch. So we're going to put that underneath, and I'm going to show you how to use the Stitch Witchery. Okay, we have our little patch, and here's our Stitch Witchery. I want to cut some Stitch Witchery, a couple of little pieces that are going to cover this patch, but not really stick out on the edge. I mean, it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. But that's going to be a good patch. You also need an iron. I didn't tell you you needed an iron. I just assumed that you have an iron somewhere with steam. So we're going to roll this back. We're going to put this here. Okay, I don't like where that is. Sorry, I need my tweezers are better than fingers sometimes. Okay. Actually, maybe we'll just go like that because it's a little bit longer than I thought. But I really want this top covered really well. And I like that. We're going to go there. Okay. And now we're going to hold that in place. Sometimes I use a pressing cloth. This is all cotton. You don't need a pressing cloth, but you do need steam and heat. So now we're going to put this on here. Oh, look what she did. Now she missed a little. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn her inside out and get her from this side because the heat may not have reached her. And it's always a good idea to press on the inside in case you scorch it or make, something happen. It's always good to have an accident happen on the inside. All right. Let's see. That looks really good. That looks really good, but just for good measure, we're going to do it again. And you can see where my steam comes out. That's where I want to put that. All right, let's see how it looks. All right, so you see how that looks just so much better. That looks so much better. It's going to hold. If you don't have to sew to fix that, it looks better. But if you can sew, just put a couple stitches right there. but you don't have to. Okay. So I'm looking at this fix, and even though it's a good fix, I can see it, the pocket going in and pulling that out. I want to put a couple stitches there, and since I told you this was going to be without a machine, I'm going to do it by hand, which if you know me, I don't like doing stuff by hand, but I am going to do it by hand. I'm going to double a thread, and I'm just going to put a couple stitches in here. See how I'm coming up right through? So if you can see, coming up through where it was torn, through the top of the pocket, starting from the back side, and I'm just going to secure this down. No special way, we're just securing it down because I know it's gonna come out. So my needle does not want to go through 4 layers of denim. So I'm going to bypass the 4 layers of denim and just go through the top, like right there. You see how that's working? And I did that 3 times. I'm probably gonna go and do it 3 more. All right, this hole, which is bigger, we're going to get another piece of denim to go underneath. We are going to cut on the bias. If you have pinking shears, use the pinking shears. And I'm also going to cut bigger than I think. I'm sure we don't need this much, but I want a little bigger patch. And I want a little bigger patch because I'm going to be sewing around there to give it strength. There's our patch. We're also going to do stitch witchery, just like we did with the other one. But then we're going to take this to the machine and strengthen it. So looking at the back side of this, look how long that is. I don't know if I made my patch long enough. At least 2 1/8. That's right where I am. So I am going to go ski-wampus on this one. We're just going to we want to get it all. A little ski-wampus. Put that right there. Oh, it's not going to cover. Let me see. You know what, we're not going to cover the end of this because we can do that with the machine. We're just going to cover the top. I didn't make it quite long enough. Should I make another one? No, the edges of this will secure it. Good enough. But we want to get the top of this mostly in. So we're going to go like this. This stitch witchery. My fingers are way too fat sometimes. I need my tweezers. I think that's good. I'm gonna hold it there and hold it here. I would like to say, if your jeans are stretchy if they're stretchy at all, use a pressing cloth because that stretch is not cotton and it will burn. So I did press that like that. That's okay, but I do want to press that closed. Is there anything I can cut off? I'm going to cut off some of this that I just don't want. Sew over that. I'm going to press it and then we'll take it to the machine. So I'm at my wall of thread and these are all my jean colors. I originally picked this darker one, but I picked out my bobbin thread and my bobbin thread matched better. So I know that there's a better match over here and it's not that one or that one. Yep, that's gonna work. Let's see. If the thread disappears, yeah, that's gonna work better. Alright, so I did get a matching thread. If you don't have a matching thread, it's okay. Get something close and take your jeans to the store to match. So you're saying, Stephanie, there's brown thread in there. We're not going to use brown thread because the brown thread is going to show and we want our thread to disappear when we're fixing a hole. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right across the top, right here. I'm going to go right across the top. Then I'm going to turn 90 degrees, come down. And then I'm going to go right next to it and come up and go across the top right next to the pocket. And do this a couple times. And I'm going to get a little further out and a little further in. And I'm just going to invisibly sew everything I can so that this doesn't happen again. I'm out here on the outside, because you can see, nobody can see my stitching, which gives me extreme pleasure that nobody will know how I sewed this. Okay, now I'm on the top of this tear, so I'm going to go back and forth quite a few times. And yes, you can see my stitching a little bit right here, but so I'll go in uniform layers so that it looks like I meant it. All right, let's look at it for a minute. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to do something else. I want to go a zigzag stitch over the top of this pocket so that I know it will never be moved. Hope is such a good girl. And I'm going to take it out and take a peek, see how I did. I can always come back and do more later. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love Hope. There's a little bit of stuff here I want to cut off. But look how nice that looks. And that is not going anywhere. Look at how that is staying where I put it. Let's look at the inside and see how it looks. Yep. That's a good patch. Let's see. Lovely. Thanks for watching my video today about fixing the holes in the pockets of your jeans. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep an eye out. I'm thinking about doing sewing lessons virtually. It's going to be fun.